Hi Deepankar. Thank you for joining the live. We're waiting for a couple more people to join us today. Hi Melody of Literature. Hi Pooja. Hi Nitu. Hi Prachi. Hi Tanuj.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. So we're waiting for a couple of people to join us.
Yes, yeah.
But I think in the meantime, we can start off. How are you? I mean, where are you from? Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, okay. So I'm Nitu Basumatary. I'm the author of the book Light at the End of the Tunnel. I'm from Assam, and in it I'm from Kokrajhar, small city, small town in it.
Mhm.
And currently I'm pursuing my degree from University of Science and Technology next year. And yeah, that's a very formal introduction.
Right. And so you are the author of a collection of short stories called Light at the End of the Tunnel, right? Right. So why don't you tell us about the book?
Okay, so this book is all about the journey of life. Like, this world is like it has so many peoples, and there are millions and millions of people, and every people have different destinies, different perspectives of life, and different also different sufferings. So this book is all about that, the people who suffer a lot and move ahead of their life and finally gets all the successes. The book is totally depend on that, and there are 10 poetries which are all related to life, success,
Hmm.
failure, love, and beauty, nature. So this is a very short introduction of the book, and these all are based on a true stories.
All true stories. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So are they all just like poems or they're short stories or a collection of both of them?
A collection of both. That there are 10 short stories and also there are 10 poetries.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So like you already told, they're true stories. So do they have like a theme around them? Like Light at the End of the Tunnel sounds like something around built around hope and something
Yes.
as such.
In this book I have, these stories are very close to me. Like, I have been with this story from a very long time. So,
Hmm.
and I have given the name of this book Light at the End of the Tunnel because the tunnel are dark in a very big way. It has a very dark, there's no light in the. So when one starts their journey of difficulty, it is always I'll compare. I have compared it to the dark phases of life. Like, the dark phases are the
Hmm.
dark times. You literally have no light. It's a very difficult phase. But in the
Right.
end, give up. Your point, the destiny has to be, choosing that bright light at the end of the tunnel. When you chase that bright light, when you succeed, when you fight against everything, when you reach that part, you
Hmm.
this book starts with suffering and ends with positivity. So that is why I have written this book, because it can inspire people. It can give message to the people that you should never give up. Your destiny should be chasing something good, not just giving up, looking back.
Correct. Makes sense. So
Yeah.
how long did it take for you to write this book?
I took 20 days. So people say it's a very short time, but even I don't know how I
Yeah.
did it. It's a very short time, but yeah, like I was totally devoted in this. For the first 10 days, I have written short stories. Other 5 days, I have written poetries, and for the other 5 days, like I have totally devoted my time on editing a different part, which is a very crucial part. So
Hmm.
yeah. 20 days, and other few months for completely getting published.
20 days. That's actually a very good time in the sense that you wrote it quickly and you got it out there.
Yeah, it was, yeah, there were difficulties every day in the 20 days, but yeah, I managed to cope with that and finally it's done.
So, like you said, these are true stories. So, are some of them your personal experiences, or have you picked up from friends and family?
Yes, among the 10 short stories, there is one my personal story, and others are all from some from my family, some from my friends, and some from surroundings which I have seen or experienced when I was a kid, and as
Hmm.
I grew up, I had seen many stories. So from that, actually, these stories are something which inspired me, which itself gives me a message.
Right.
That is why this stories has been written. I wanted that if it has inspired me, there might be some point where this might inspire other people also, so I wanted to share all these stories. So,
Yeah. So, I think it's a good idea that you shared these stories. Uh, there are a lot of people these days. There's a lot of people. There are a lot of people going through depression, and I'm sure a story with hope will definitely give them some hope to keep moving forward.
in this book, I'm just the medium that I have just written, but when you read the book, you feel like the character is completely talking to you and the message is directly given by the character. So that was my point, that forget about the author who is written, just be connected to the character. That's the most important thing when you
Yeah,
feel the story.
true. Yeah, that is definitely important. So let's talk about at what your journey as an author. How has it been? Since when have you been writing?
Mhm. Okay. Yeah. My journey of becoming a writer started long back. When I was in fifth standard, I remember I wrote my first poetry when I was in fifth standard. I wrote it. I wrote a poem for my mom. I remember I wrote it in the class. I came back home, and I read it to her. She was very happy. These small small things really inspired me to write. And also at that age, I started liking to read poetries, and the way my teachers explained this all fascinated me. And it was wonderful that the poet explains such a deep meaning and in just a few lines. They have a whole lot to
Right.
say in lines. So all these things I have known from a very young age, and I mostly loved spending my time in library because I was a kid.
Correct.
Always attracted me. So when I grew up, I got that habit, that interest of reading more books, and also I tried writing my first book when I was in 12th standard, but because of some reason it did not happen. But I have no regrets. There are failures there, but apart from this, I just am here today. And I took my writing seriously when I was in standard 11th and 12th,
Okay.
because I was into a college life. It was a very different life for me, which was very different from the school life. I started out doing things, started meeting new people, learning lots of things. So I thought to write on. So this way, I continued writing, and yeah, I finally.
And finally, you wrote a book. So, so tell me more about this book. How long did it take to? So you already told me it took 20 days. So, what was the most difficult part to write? What was the most difficult story or the difficult part?
Okay. Am I audible to you?
Yeah, I think your voice is coming and going a little bit, but more or less it's there.
Okay, it's maybe because of the network issues. Actually.
Hmm.
Am I okay now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine right now. Your video just freezes from time to time.
Please let me know the in the point where you don't hear me. When you don't understand.
Sure. Okay, I'll let you know.
Okay. So difficulty. It's very genuine that you get nothing without difficulties, right? So my journey writing of this book has lots of difficulties, really very lots
Mm-hmm.
of difficulties. So the first difficulty was that I wanted my book to reach to all the age groups. I did not want to limit it to a young generation or a elderly generation. I wanted
Mm-hmm.
it to be read by the kids also, the young generation also, and also the elderly people. So maintaining the balance between the language was little difficult. So the first thing which I was this was the thing I did was really a little bit difficult for me, but writing capability and all somehow made it all right. Then it was, I have written this book in 20 days. The first 10 days were completely for my stories, short stories, and I have
Mm-hmm.
written one story a day. So it's like
Oh, okay.
yeah. So it's like today I am writing a particular story. I'm reading a I'm totally into one character, and tomorrow I have to jump into totally complete story, different story, and the characters also are different. And for a story, living up a character is very important for every story. So again, switching to this and that character was little difficult, but I have no complaints for it. That was okay. And after that, the major problem was the choosing of publication, because I have very known people from that field. I have, I literally don't know much people. So, and the point was that choosing a good publication is also very, very important. So that was the point. There were so many difficulties. There were so many publications, and I don't know, like whom to go for, whom to talk with. So this was the difficulties again. Whenever
Mm-hmm.
finally after clearing all that difficulties, I got into a point where self publication required a lot amount of money to publish a book. This is very true. When you want to self publish your book, you must have money. So at that point, I'm a student. I belong to a middle class family. Again, there is a
Right.
but that energy of publishing a book did not stop. Then there I had some financial crises. I could not ask for a whole lot of huge money to my parents. So at that point, I somehow thought like, let's drop this plan of publishing a book, because this was not possible. Then again, I felt like I have came so a long way to publish my book.
Mm-hmm.
I have 20 days. I have got publications. Why to look back and just stop? Crying somewhere, sitting and
Right.
crying, and really was not, very, very, what do I say? Like, it was not good to me. I feel like I have worked really hard for it. So something clicked in my mind. I thought of doing something independently, earn something independently. So I started giving tuitions to the board students. So this
Oh,
way,
okay.
I did that, and again, after doing this, I could finally pay the amount to the publishers. That was a very big happiness to me, because I have published my own book with my own money at this age. I'm very happy with that. Again, there's a lots of problem. There is two more, which is measure. I would like to share it. And then I
Sure.
have written this book in my phone. Total whole of my book in my phone, because of some technical issues, I could not use my laptop, and it was during a lockdown period, and there were no repairing center. So this was writing a book in a phone is not easy, really not easy. So I had to do it. It's difficult thing. And with in addition with that, in the final day of submission of my manuscript, what happened is the total manuscript got deleted. Like, it was a very
Oh.
very big kind of heart attack to me. Like, I didn't know like how to react to it, like whether I should be angry, I should be crying somewhere, or I don't know. Then that mixed emotion somehow pushed me harder. No, you cannot stop anyway. So what I did is I spent a lot of hours researching like how to get back the deleted files, and finally I did it, and a whole night I did it, and I submitted my manuscript the next day. So this is a very long journey of difficulties. It's very easy to say it's 20 days, but in 20 days I have faced a lot. And after, after finally getting a publication, after that also I had so many difficulties. But that's great that I didn't give up. That's what I want people, that don't give up. when you have good intentions to write, you can do it, or anything else. So that's
I think, in fact, your title, Light at the End of the Tunnel, comes into play here as well.
yes. When I'm writing such books, I of myself because I'm the author, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
think the most
most
commendable thing was how you managed to, like, even though, because financial hurdle is a very big hurdle, right? If
yes,
you
sir.
don't have the money, you just don't have the money, but you still somehow you took classes, you did something, you managed to save up that money and you
Uh,
invested it. I think that's a great thing.
yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Really nice to hear that story, Neetu. So, all right. So now I'm even more curious about the book, to be honest. Why don't you read us a small excerpt of the book?
Okay. So I would like to show my book here. Like I have it. So
Hmm.
this is how my book looks. I think it's inverted because of the front camera. Uh, there's a one particular line from a story. Here it is. This is the current favorite of most of the readers. So I would like to read it out. It says this universe is covered with strength and weakness, pros and cons, good and evil. Get ready with precautions. So this particular line has something to do with the story in which I have given this message. So this message has been liked by most of the people, and this is my also my favorite message from my book. And there are different poetries, like I have written a poetry named The Taboo Heart, where I have written about a woman, a girl facing menstruation taboo, where it is told that having periods is an impure thing. They have sent
Hmm.
to a far places, away from home. They stay there alone, and they're dealing with all the dangerous situation because yeah, it's away from home. And this is the most difficult part of a woman in a month. So when you think it to be a negative, or it's think it impure, I think this is little bit unfair, because you, me, everyone who are around, it's because of that only. So there is
Correct.
no sense of saying that it is impure. So I really wanted people to know that before giving any view, the people who doesn't know about this, that it has a very good perspective, that you and me, everyone is here. There are beautiful people around. It's only because of that. So I
Yeah,
wanted to
true.
this book. Yeah, and there are a few more there. You would know when you'll read the book.
Yeah, I am actually really dying to read this book, especially after the stories you've been telling me today. Okay. So how has your family reacted to your book? How did your parents did they like the book? What did they say?
They were really very happy because
Hmm.
obviously when some daughters or sons, their own child does something great, they'll definitely be happy. So they were
Hmm.
really happy. Family were always they have been always supportive, because with their love and support, I'm here today. Without their support, yes, I have done independently to publish this book, but behind that, they are my backbone. They have been pushing me harder to be strong. I think so. Without family support, it's really difficult to survive.
Very
Family
difficult.
is very,
Yes.
very important. Family is that part of your life. When you fall apart from something, your family will either be there with you, or they'll pull you out from that situation and put you in such a position that you will feel safe. So family is
Hmm.
that important in life. So they have been always there with me. Not only my parents, my whole family, my grandmother, grandfather. They were so excited, like they were all over the phone and sharing about, like, my granddaughter has written this and that book. Just have a look, check it. They are more excited than me. And when I my author copies, my father was the most excited person. He was very, like, very excited to unbox it. So yeah, that's it. They were very happy. They're proud of me, and also I'm happy that I could make them feel proud, because I'm only the published author so far in my home at my family. So yeah, I
Hmm.
also.
I think that's really nice. I like especially the part where you said your parents got more excited than you were. I think that happens in my family as well. Every time
Uh-huh.
I do something which is an achievement, even for me, they get really excited. They get even more excited than I do.
It's more than ourselves, you know. It's very good to see them like that.
Yeah, yeah, it's really nice actually.
Yeah, very nice. That feeling is like, above everything. Like, when you see your parents smiling, holding your book, that's very great.
Yeah. I remember even during my convocation, they were more excited than I was to see me at the stage, taking that degree. So yeah. Okay, so I like to move to, talking about you as an author. Who are your biggest inspirations?
So if I talk about my inspiration, when I was very young, when I visited my grandma's place, she used to tell me stories, and she used to sing songs which were very beautifully rhymed. She writes. My
Mm-hmm.
grandmother writes, but she didn't publish any book or kind of. But she writes very nice. So she is my first inspiration because she is the person from whom I have learned how to rhyme things, how to use word beautifully, how to put a line beautifully, how to make that everything sync. So she is the one person who in the very first time she inspired me. Again, there are lots of other inspiration. Like, I'm inspired by all the authors who writes book, because I know writing a book is not that easy like you think. I respect each and every author, because it's not like that I have read books of each and every author here, but I have read few of them. But I respect each and every of them, because it is hard to write a book, and writing a book is also an art. So I am inspired by them, because every time I read new story, every time I read about new authors, it really inspires me the way they write. And whichever book I have read, I have learned something from them. It's not like I have learned nothing and simply went on reading. I have learned a lot from them. So yes, they are my inspiration. When I see someone writing, I get inspired. Be someone younger than me, someone elder than me, the writing has no age. Even someone younger than me can write much better than me. The quality
Mm-hmm.
matters. And in the end, I think I'm inspired by myself also, because only you can inspire yourself till a sky height and beyond that. Because if you don't inspire yourself, right, I don't think so the inspiration which you get externally lasts forever. We hunt for an idol to get inspiration from. We type, we Google, quotes that inspire us. But I think so. This inspiration can stay for you for a little bit, small amount of time, because you might forget that person, you might forget that quote. But when you inspire yourself, it stays for much longer time, which is very important. You just have to inspire yourself. So yeah, that's it. I inspired myself, and I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah, I think what you've said is really beautiful because I can feel the energy coming from you. I can feel that inspiration coming from you. And I
Yeah.
agree with you when you say that writing a book is not difficult. I haven't written a book. I write
Mhm.
a lot of reviews, but even a 300 word review takes me
Mhm.
almost a day to write because I have to think a lot before I actually write my first word.
And writing a book 200-300 pages, completely based on one story, that's not easy. Even writing a poetry is not easy, because if everyone could write a poet, everyone would have been here, poet here, sitting here. I have seen lots of people who cannot pen down their emotions, who cannot pen down their feelings. But I see also another group of people who can just, if you just give a topic, in just few seconds and hours or minutes, they can just write such a beautiful lines on that topic. So
Hmm.
there are two types of people. So from here only we can say that, like, it's sometimes it's difficult for some people and it's quite easy for some people. But publishing a book is not that easy. Yeah, but you
For
should keep.
anybody. I think I lost you there. Are you still there, Neetu?
Can you see me? Am I
Yeah,
audible?
yeah, I can see you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Please let
Okay.
me know because the network connection is a little bit poor here.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. No problem at all. I just thought I'll check up with you. So yeah, I think I actually like what you say. What you said. I can actually feel that inspiration right here. And what I liked the most was when you said that some people can write and some people just cannot. So, do you think writing is a matter of you know flexing those muscles? Like when you start writing for the first time, probably you might not get anything, but if you keep writing constantly, you will end up at that position where you can write pages after pages of a wonderful
Yes,
book.
so I think so because uh, before writing a book, I had done lots of practices. It's the matter of
Hmm.
practice, and you see your emotions, your feelings. If you cannot write down, how can people understand? How can people understand what you are feeling? No, first
Definitely.
yeah, you have to know. Even there are some times when I cannot really express myself. While
Hmm.
talking verbally, it's easy for me to express something when I'm writing because I can understand my emotions. I have connection with my mind, heart, brain, everything. So when you write something, when you want to write your emotions, your brain, your heart, your mind, your hands are automatically connected and they work coordinately. So when you go on practicing, when you try writing your feelings and emotions, see first time you might not be able to do it, but who says you
Hmm.
cannot? Who says you cannot? Yes, you can write. You just have to try. You just, the main point of writing an emotions, writing a poetry, writing anything is you just have to understand what's going on. It's the main important thing. If you have
Hmm.
connection with a particular thing, you can of course write it. There is no boundary of language. You can write in Hindi, you can write in Assamese, you can write in any language, you can write in English. You just have to fill it. You don't have to write anything to you want to express, but it's not mandatory you have to write in English. You can write in different
Correct.
languages. The important thing is like the emotions that you put on the paper. It's not always necessary that you should publish an English book. If I'm comfortable with the language Hindi, if I'm comfortable with Assamese, Bodo, or any other language, I'll definitely write in that language. So as I'm comfortable in English, I have written in English. And so keep on trying. That's what it's matter. And don't give up. Inspire yourself. That's it.
Yep, that sounds brilliant, actually. So I have a question from author Manoj over here. He's saying, how do your feelings change as an author from ordinarily living? Because being a writer, life is like a resuscitation.
Yeah. Uh, it didn't change much. I'd say I'm the same person. I'm the same person. I'm totally the same person. It didn't change much. I'm not like right now. I'm not feeling like I'm an author. Wow, I'm coming life. Suddenly, I'm
Hmm.
famous, or some people started recognizing me. There are lots of people, sending text messages or whatever. But I'm very normal to them. I talk very normal, like I used to be in before. Before I like I used to make fun. Uh, in the sense like I used to have fun with my friends. Even now I have fun with my friends. I spend time
Hmm.
with my same. Nothing has changed. I'm the same person. I'm totally the same person. There is no change, and there is nothing is going to be changed. I'll stay like that forever, like how I am. This is the important thing, right? Be you.
Yep,
That's
that
it.
is the most important thing. Be yourself.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, would it be safe to say that, based on your book and based on the stories that you've told us today, you're a glass half full kind of person, an optimist?
Yes, I'm kind of optimist. Yes, I can say that. I'm
Hmm.
fully optimistic. Even
I think
I have
that's
written a poem on that, "Never Quit," where I have written about optimism. So
definitely. So yeah, I think that's it. I think being optimistic is really important to, get ahead in life, to reach
yes,
somewhere, because there will be so many points when you'll be like, I don't know what to do. At that time, only hope is what keeps you attached.
mhm, yes, hope. these words are spelling of just few alphabets, but this is huge
Hmm.
meaning. And just simply using these words and not really understanding that meaning, then at that point you're losing something. You should really understand what
Right.
that word has to say to you.
Hmm. Right. Definitely. So I see a lot of new people have joined. So let me just quickly introduce. We are in conversation with Neetu, who is the author of Light at the End of the Tunnel. She's very young. She's way younger than I am, and she's already written a book. So yeah, that's definitely really commendable. And she's a very positive person and a very energetic and inspiring person too. So I have another question from Bluffmaster Tanuj. What process do you follow to choose a title for your story? That's a very interesting question.
uh, can you please repeat?
Yeah, so what process do you follow to choose a title for your story?
Okay, process. As I said that I have compared my book to a tunnel, which is a very dark, in the starting. So actually, this all the stories I have written has the characters have faced some less or more difficulties in their life.
Hmm.
So again, they have been, fighting against so many things, fighting against their own feelings, fighting against society, family, and lots of things. But in the end, they succeed and reach that point where they wanted to be. It's like that particular character has crossed that long journey of dark phases of the life and reached the better part where have, said it to be the brighter phase, which you will only get
Right,
when you travel the tunnel. You have to travel the tunnel. Life is sometimes it has a very, it is a very happy phases, and sometimes you are very sad. So there are dark phases and also the light phases, but the thing you have to do is never give up and just go on. So that's how I thought to give this the name of this book.
I think that's a great idea. So, okay. Uh, Now, there are a lot of authors here who have joined this session today as well. And a couple of them who have been talking to, they are in the process of writing their new books and, start their first publication. So, what advice would you give them?
Okay, for the authors, it's like keep writing, that's it. But I have some messages for the budding writers who want to
Hmm.
publish their book or who want to continue their journey being an author. So there are few things I would like to share, which I have personally followed when I wrote a book. First thing is like when you think of writing a book, just start writing it, and you have to
Hmm.
think about nothing, really nothing. Because when you don't write, you cannot be a writer, you cannot be an author. When you really think of writing a book, you should start writing. Yes.
Hmm.
So you start writing. After that, you move on to publication, and then you take all the headaches and the problems, technical problems of other whatever you get. But you should, write. Give time to your writing. I have written
Hmm.
this book in 2 years. Different authors have different time period. Some might write in 10 days, some might write in years and years. It might take 10 years, 5 years to write a good book. Everyone has different durations of
Hmm.
writing. Yourself that you have to complete it in 1 month, 10 days, 15 days. It might be different for different authors. So that's it. Don't rush. uh, Choose a good publications. It's very important. Focus hard on editing, which is a very crucial part. It can beautify your book. So yes, that's it. Don't miss anything. That's it. While you publish a book, you should be very clear about what you.
And what do you think about a focus on the quality of the read? Because so there have been, I've come across authors who finished their book very quickly. It wasn't that great, but like read this one book. The author of it took 10 years to write the whole story. She's still writing the sequels. And that book was simply brilliant. It was mind blowing. The mystery, the thrill, everything was wonderful.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, time. but it's not like you have to push yourself to write in emergency. You'll just spoil everything. Like, keep
Yeah.
patience, keep control about your emotions, your writing. That will, if you keep on going like that, that is the point where you can see something good. But if you rush on, you don't do a few things properly, like editing, I said, choosing the publication, I said, and also the marketing sector is very, very important. And also when you're
Yes.
self-publishing, the marketing sector is very, very hugely important. So
Right. Definitely.
most of the people knows about it. So yes, I would like to tell them that stay focused on in such small things, which they are not small, they're very really important.
Hmm. So, suppose you're writing a story, right? And at what point did you decide that, okay, now my book is ready to be published, or now my book is ready to go into the editing process? Because when I am writing, I always, I can come up with more ideas. Okay, I can do this, I can do that. So how do you decide, okay, okay, put a stop here, done. The book is ready.
Okay. See, the thing is that the feeling of completeness,
Hmm.
I did 5 days of editing, again processing it again and again. Even after sending my final manuscript to my publisher, I have been repeating all the things, like, many a times. Then I feel like, okay, now it's done. Let's completely handle it over to the publications. They'll do everything. But it's not like that. You have to be, staying at the back of your publisher to do this and that. But the
Hmm.
feeling of happiness comes within, you just, when you feel like, yeah, this is done. That feeling like, yeah, it is done. So this is the point where I felt like, yeah, that's okay to go now. So I have handed everything to the publishers. They have helped me with editing and all.
Okay, fair enough. So, I'll continue from there. How was your experience with the editing process? Did you feel like at the end of the day you had to edit some parts out of the book, and how did it feel as an author? Because to me, if I remove something from my story, it pains me. I did not want to remove that, that feeling.
Uh, it was not like that. Actually, what happened is, like, I think publications are quite responsible that after
Hmm.
they do everything, like editing, even of lines and paragraphs, whatever they do editing and all, they send you back that file, and they just say that, if you confirm, then only we are going to, we are moving ahead. If you have
Hmm.
still something to change, you can go on, because this book is mine. The book is,
Right.
all for the author. The publication can just change this and that to give that feeling that, नहीं ये नहीं हटाना था मेरे book से. It doesn't actually happens. I don't know about others. They might feel that, they might experience such things. But I think publications are responsible. They will take permission for everything from you. They'll tell you what they are going to do and what they'll be doing later on. So yeah, but there is some few points I felt like editing after the book got published, but I think that's okay. That's fine. I'll try for my next book that, it all goes.
Definitely. In fact, I think author Manoj is also making a good point here. He's saying this is a bitter truth that only authors can market and edit their own books. The rest
Yes,
can maybe promote it, but it's all on the author.
yes. Author, because if the book is mine, only I know everything of it, like where the
True.
things have to be changed or what, Yes, publishers, we hire editors, no doubt, but editors have edit many stories. There are many authors who are trying to publish books, sending them all the files, manuscripts. They are not only us.
Yes.
Like, it is only our book, but for them they have hundreds of books. So I think we can do better job while editing, and others, like few grammatical or whatever things has to be done, we can, do it by can be done by publication.
Yeah. Interesting that you said there are so many authors because I was reading a study a couple of days back and it said there are 100,000 books that are published every year. And that's a huge number. So and it's very difficult to have your book stand out from that crowd.
Yes, you know, it's really, really very difficult to make a place in this
Hmm.
field. is a true fact. And when you're self-publishing it, uh, as I said, marketing plays a crucial role. If you don't really do marketing from your side, it's very harsh to hear that your book might not even get 100 sales. Very, very difficult. But I'm not disheartening the people who want to write, but this you should also know the fact. That's it.
Definitely, you have to be a little realistic.
For example, if you're spending 30,000 on your book, you cannot just expect that you will get at least 40,000 from back from it. You might not get. You might end up earning only 5,000 from it. So it is difficult. Managing all these things is your duty, the author's duty. You might not get such a huge amount. You might not become a bestseller in just one go. There are authors
Mhm.
who have written so many books. After that, they have become the best-selling authors. So even if your first book is not doing so good or something like that, you can go on. You just keep on writing. As you go on writing, you can get that. You can get your destiny where you want to.
So I think that's a good thing what you said, and I have one question, rooting out of that, and that is, in your opinion, what do you think makes a good book?
Okay, in my opinion, see, most of the time when I read books, just I want the book should give you some kind of message, or not always inspiration or something. But uh, when you read a book, every book has something for you. Either it teaches you something, or either it somewhere demotivates you or something like that. Every book has something to say to you. So I think when the book has very good things to say you, and also it's not like always the book has to give you message. The book can also be of fun. When I want to be like a little bit in a jolly mood, have some fun, I'll read something, a comedy book. If I am very
Right.
depressed in love or love story, I'm in love, I'll obviously go for the love story. So in different situations, if I am reading a love story, if I'm in love, obviously what I want at that moment, if I get back, I'm the happy reader. If I want to laugh aloud, I'll read a comedy book. So they might be having a silly jokes and all. If they makes me laugh, I'm reader. So that's important. If I want to get little bit thrilled or something, I'll read a horror or a mystery stories and all, mystery book. So, and in
Right.
fact, to get motivated or want to elevate myself, I will read an inspiration book. So for every time there is a specific book that when you are very happy, you don't want to read a sad book and get depressed or anxiety again. I don't do that
So,
actually.
so, in that case, do you think focusing on writing a good story, or focusing, depending on if you're going for a fiction or non-fiction, or writing a good message, is what might get you from uh, being just a author to a best-selling author? I think maybe that's one of the things. Marketing is a whole
Yeah.
different ballgame and definitely crucial.
Um, can you just repeat the question? You just stuck in the between, so I could not get it.
Oh, sorry about that. What I was saying was, do you think that as an author, I should focus on my story and worry less about being a bestseller? Because if I have a strong story, if I have a strong message coming out, uh, definitely there's a better chance of me getting to that best-selling island out there.
Uh, I think so. When you write a book, when you're very passionate about writing, you don't worry about being. This is my personal view. Okay, different people might have different views, but for me personally, when I wrote a book, it was not that I wanted to become a best-selling author. I wrote it because of my own happiness, because I was passionate about
Mhm.
it. I wanted to write a book. It was my dream that before I die, I really want to publish at least a one book. So that was one of my dream. So when you have such dream and you want to fulfill it, I don't think so you think about any factor of becoming like rich from writing a book or earning lots of money, getting so much of
Hmm.
publicity. I never thought like that. I even never thought like I would be talking to you like that live in front of the people. I never thought like my motive was to just write a book and publish it, just to have a book named by me, like author Nitu Basumatary. I just wanted to have that, and other that there's nothing like more I wanted. But I'm here talking to you because I want people to really know about, what how life is. There are so many books, but every book has something to say to you. Even my book has something to say to you. So no, so that's how I really wanted these things to happen.
I like what you said there. You were never looking, you never even thought you would be sitting on this live today. You just wanted your name to be printed on top of a book. And I think that's a dream for every book lover, like regardless of, like even for me, I'm not an author. I don't have any plans of writing, but seeing my name on top of a book would be like mind blowing.
Even I told the publication like, ma'am, कुछ भी कीजिए, बस book दे दीजिए. No, I was not looking for in Amazon, or I was looking, ma'am, please author copy भेज दीजिए, देखना है. I was so excited for the book itself, and nothing else. I have nothing to, worry about best selling and all. If it is good, people will know about it. It might take time, but okay. If it becomes bestseller, it's a very great thing. If it doesn't become, I'm okay. I have no such a high dream of mine thoughts of that. Because of my passion, I'm doing it. I'm very passionate about that.
I understand. I think that passion is what is important at the end of the day. If you're happy with what you're doing, you will definitely achieve a quality greater than what others are doing.
See, you should be passionate about everything you want to do. If you see, for example, if you want to earn from your book, you just want to earn, and at that point, when you know that you cannot earn much, and when you drop the plan, it's not really that you are passionate about it. You are not really
Mm.
passionate. If you were very passionate about writing a book, you would write it anyway. Like you tackle everything, you would write, you would not think much about it. But if the earning is your purpose and it is not your passion, I don't think so the quality also not be there. You should be totally into it when you do something.
Mhm. But there's also a flip side to this, because you have to put food on the plate. You need to pay your rent. You need to pay your bills. So at the end of the day, money is an important factor.
I see it, that it's different for different people. For my perspective, this was what I thought of. There are
Hmm.
people who want to write to earn. Yeah, that's a very great thing. You have different perspective, as there are so many people having different opinions. So this was my opinion that it's okay if I don't earn much from it. I'm not expecting to earn a lot also. I'm not doing all this much review stuffs that I'm paying for reviews and all. It's all happening genuinely, and I'm good with that. I actually, I prefer coming live and interacting rather than, please review my book, something like that. No, this is from my side, what I feel like. When I interact directly with the people, when people see me talking, I think this is the best thing to promote your book or something to let people know about your book.
True, true. I agree. Okay, so I'll move on to my next question. We don't have a lot of time left.
Yeah, it's okay.
So, so sorry. So what's next? Are you working on a new book right now, or do you have some other plans?
Um, Plans. Yes, currently I'm working on my second book. Probably I'm thinking to publish it the next year, but I'm not sure. Like when I can publish it, as I have written my first book in the 20 days. Now I'm giving a little bit longer time to my second book. So yeah, I'm excited about it, and we'll be happy to announce it soon. I'm already excited about it. Happy
So
working
is
like
it
that.
going to be a short story as well, or is this one a bigger novel?
Okay, let me reveal it something. It's again a bit stories, but I won't say whether it's a fiction, non-fiction, or something like short stories or something like that, mystery or thriller. But I'll say it's based on true stories. That's it. For now, it's okay.
Okay, we don't have a choice then to wait.
I'll reveal it soon for sure.
Okay, so let me do one thing. I want to open up the stage for the viewers over here to ask a few questions.
Yeah. Yeah, and they can directly DM me for any queries. I have learned
Hmm.
a lot from senior authors. What I have learned, I can help to my juniors. Again, they can help to their friends who are junior to them. So it's a big cycle of helping. Just interact with people who writes if you want to write. So get into that field. It is very important. You learn a lot from your seniors. That's it. You can straightforward DM me. I'll be there to help you. We can solve your problem together.
So that's a message to all the budding authors in the live today. If you have any questions about publishing or writing, you can reach out to Neetu. She'll be more than happy to help you out. And I can vouch for that because I've been talking to her for 1 week now. She's very helpful and very fun to talk to.
Yeah.
So, okay, I have a question from Bluffmaster Tanuj. What other genres would you like to try your hands on?
Okay. I would love to try thriller mystery, something
Mhm.
like very spooky or horror. I love that kind of. So I'll try that someday. I'll continue writing. Obviously, yeah, I'll try whatever I can.
Mhm. Okay, so let me ask you this. What is your favorite book right now?
Um, Favorite book. I have been out of station lately, so I could not totally get into it. I had exams, but
Hmm.
in my recent times, what I have read lots of Ruskin Bones, that short stories. So they are one of my favorites. I have read few from Shudha Murthy. From the time I have written the short story, I'm into short stories now for the few days. So I'm into short story types now. It keeps on changing time to time. Now I'm into short stories.
I feel a special connection to Ruskin Bond, because I've grown up reading his poems. Like it was a part of our school curriculum, so that's how I got introduced to Ruskin Bond. But
It's
I used to love his stories and
it's
poems.
even the a few stories are so nice to connect. I feel really very nice to read his books. Even Sudhamurthy
Yeah,
also.
yeah, definitely. She's another wonderful author. Okay, looks like we don't have any other questions from the audience. Pooja is saying she doesn't really have a question, but just wants to say that Neetu, you can be an inspiration to a lot of people.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much. Actually, it's a very great thing. It's a very, very great thing for me. And thank you for saying such a wonderful thing. And I hope if I don't know if you're writing, but if you're writing, I'm wishing those who are writing, I'm wishing them a good luck. And I hope that we will get to read your book someday or any write-ups. Keep
definitely.
growing.
I'm really looking forward to a lot of. I get really excited when an author pings me saying it's their debut novel. I'm like, wonderful.
It's a very great thing. It's a very, very great thing. You should really praise a person who has written a book. It can be of
Hmm.
any age. I said the writing book is not easy, and so if somebody does it, no matter if it's not best selling, just give a thumbs up. It's very important to boost them up to write the next book. No one is perfect in the
Yeah,
beginning. Keep on practicing.
yeah. I think practice makes it perfect, right? Okay. I think we're almost at the end of our time, and we don't have any other questions coming from the audience. So I'll just like to close this by saying thanks a lot, Neetu. You've been a really
So much for
great
giving me such.
inspiration.
Yeah. Keep
It
supporting
was
me.
wonderful talking to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.